Okay, so next is letter C. When the sellers deliver the goods agreed upon but are mixed with goods of different description. So the buyer may. So third instances class, what if daw yung i-deliver ni seller is ang iba naka-base doon sa kontrata. Pero may halo. Let's say for example, 1,000 sacks of jasmine rice. Pero yung doon sa 1,000 sacks, yung 200 sacks doon is tanner. So ano yung mangyayari? So what will be the rules? So si buyer pwede niyang accept the goods agreed upon and reject the rest if sale is divisible. So dito naman ibig sabihin ng divisible, it can be partial, uh, it is capable of partial fulfillment. So parang let's say for example dun sa bigas, so pwede mo siyang mahati-hati. Hindi kagaya ng kotse. Let's say for example, uh, bumili si buyer ng bumili si buyer ng uh, kotse from seller. And then what if nasira yung kotse? Half of the car is na-struck by lightning. Pero yung half, pwede pang pakinabangan. So, since a car is a indivisible, so ibig sabihin ng indivisible kasi, hindi mo naman pwedeng magamit yung kotse kalahati lang. So, 'di ba? So that is divisible and indivisible. So it is capable of partial fulfillment. So here sa number 1, ang maging rules diyan, 1,000 sacks of jasmine rice, may nakahalo na 200 sacks of tanner. So ibig sabihin class, pwedeng 800 lang yung tanggapin ni buyer. Next is, pwede niyang i-reject yung lahat ng goods if sale is indivisible. Next is, when the vendor is not bound to deliver the thing sold. So, Article 1524 tayo. So, kailan daw si vendor is not liable to deliver the thing sold? Okay? So, when vendor is not bound to deliver the thing sold. So, kailan ba kailan ba si vendor is not liable to deliver the thing sold? So, here are the instances. But for your reference, it is Article 1524. Number 1, the vendor is not bound to deliver the thing sold if the vendee has not paid him the price. So, syempre naman, so kapag hindi binayaran sa vendor, he is not bound to deliver the thing sold. Next, if no period for the payment of the price has been fixed in the contract. So, dito klase number 2, pwedeng hindi i-deliver ni vendor yung thing sold kung walang time for payment. Let's say for example, yung time for payment is hindi naka-specify kung kailan yung bayaran. So, parang walang, it is not, kulang yung element ng perfected contract. Naintindihan? So, parang kulang as to consideration. Next, number 3, if a period has been fixed for the payment of the price, the vendor is bound to deliver the thing sold. So, kung meron ng period, kung kailan yung bayaran, so, si vendor na ngayon is magiging bound to deliver the thing sold. However, he is not bound to deliver if the vendee loses the right to make use of the period as follows. Number 1, when the vendee becomes insolvent unless he gives a guarantee or security for the payment of the price. So, dito class, paano kung kapag before the delivery, si vendee or the buyer naging insolvent. So, magiging the vendor is not bound to deliver the thing sold. But, paano kapag nagbigay ng guarantee or security? Let's say, for example, collateral. It can be personal property or real property. So, the vendor now is bound to deliver the thing sold. 2. When the vendor fails to furnish the guarantees or securities that he has promised. So, let's say for example, class, si buyer bumili ng 1,000 sack of rice. And then ngayon, ang nakalagay doon, babayaran yung 1,000 sack of rice at 2,000 per sack. So, that is all in all, 2,000 multiplied by 1,000, that is 2 million. Ngayon, how about si Bendy or the buyer, naging insolvent siya, nalugi siya, or di kaya wala nang pambayad, pero meron pa siyang real property. So sabi ni buyer, okay, babayaran ko lang ng aking real property. So with that, dito sabi dito, si buyer now or the seller now is bound to deliver. Paano kung yung iprinamis ni buyer is failure or di kaya hindi niya na-deliver yung guarantee? So ang mangyayari nun, si seller now is not bound to deliver the thing sold anymore. Next, when the guarantee or securities have been impaired through his own act or when through a fortuitous event, they disappear unless he immediately gives new one equally satisfactory. So dito naman class, na impaired, just like for example, personal property nag-depreciate or di kaya nasira due to the fault of the buyer or di kaya through fortuitous event. So ibig sabihin, nasira yung guarantee or the security. So now, unless lang kung immediately gives new one equally satisfactory. Next, when the vendor violates any undertaking in consideration of which the vendor agreed to the period. So dito naman class, ang sinasabi dito, kapag si buyer daw is nag-violate dun sa provision ng kontrata. So may nangyaring breach of contract. Next, when the vendor attempts to abscond. So Article 1198. So paano kung bumili si buyer ngayon i-deliver na dapat ni seller. Ngayon si vendor nag-abscond na or tumakas na. Anong ibig sabihin ng abscond? Si vendor hindi na mahanap dun sa kanyang place of business or di kaya hindi na siya mahanap dun sa kanyang place of residence. So with that, the vendor may not deliver must not deliver the thing. Next is unpaid seller, Article 1525. So sa unpaid seller, what is unpaid seller? What are the rights of an unpaid seller? So Article 1525, unpaid seller is one who has been paid or who has not been paid or tendered the whole of the price or who has received a bill of exchange or other negotiable instrument as conditional payment, and the condition under which it was received has been broken by reason of the dishonor of the instrument, the insolvency of the buyer, or otherwise. Dito class, unpaid seller, ang ibig sabihin lang nito, hindi binayaran si seller. So, ano yung magiging rights ni seller kapag hindi siya binayaran? And then, according to Article 1525, ano yung kinds of ano yung mga kinds kung what are the reasons bakit hindi nabayaran si seller? Number 1, kapag naging insolvent si buyer. And number 2, nag-issue si seller ng bill of exchange and then dinishonor ni buyer. So, what are the rights of an unpaid seller? Number 1, possessory lien or a lien on the goods or right to retain them while he is in possession of them. So, ibig sabihin ng possessory lien class, rights. Naintindihan? It is a right over a specific goods or thing. Ngayon, when this right available? Number 1, where the goods have been sold without any stipulation as to credit. So, ibig sabihin daw class, itong possessory lien, may rights si seller over the thing. Naintindihan? Ngayon, kailan daw ito magiging rights ni seller? Number 1, kapag yung goods daw have been sold. Nabenta na yung goods, kaso nga lang, wala nakalagay doon, hindi nakalagay sa kontrata na yung goods is utang pala. So, naintindihan? Kasi nga, to the knowledge of the seller, it is a cash transaction. Hindi niya alam na credit pala. Hindi nakastipulate sa kontrata na uutangin pala yun ni buyer. So, with that, si seller, meron siyang possessory lien. Pwede niyang i-hold yung goods. Next, where the goods have been sold on credit but the credit term has expired. Next, where the buyer is insolvent. So, wala nang pambayad si buyer. So, meron ng possessory lien si unpaid seller. Take note class, dito sa rights na ito, yung goods is nasa possession pa lang ni seller. Next, lien where there is a partial delivery. So, kailan magkakaroon ng lien? Kung meron ng partial delivery. Number 1, when the lien is lost. So, lien where there is a partial delivery. Take note class, what if 1,000 sacks of rice yung binili ni? Okay, so next, letter C, when lien is lost. So, kailan yung lien is matatanggal? Ang instances niyan class is, number 1, when the seller deliver the goods to a carrier or other bailee for the purpose of transmission to the buyer without reserving the ownership in the goods or the right to the possession thereof. So, dito class, sa letter A, sabi dito, kapag si seller daw, dineliver niya na yung goods dun sa carrier or di kaya sa mga shipping company. Let's say, for example, bumili ka ng isang 1,000 sacks of rice sa Maynila. Ngayon, si seller, dineliver niya na yung 1,000 sacks of rice kay To Go Corporation para for the purpose of para sa purpose na itatransmit ni To Go kay buyer. Ngayon, si seller, hindi niya retain yung or no reservation of the ownership over the goods or the right to the possession thereof. So, wala ng lien or wala ng right si seller over the goods. Next, letter B, when the buyer or his agent lawfully obtains possession of the goods. So, dito naman sa letter B, na nagkaroon na ng possession or natanggap na ni buyer yung goods. And then, si buyer, hindi nagbayad. And letter C, by waiver thereof. So, ibig sabihin ng waiver, napadala ni seller yung goods kay buyer. Ngayon si buyer hindi nagbayad. Sabi ni seller, okay, pabayaan mo na lang. So, that is waiver. Wini-waive niya na yung rights over the property or over the goods. Next, number 2, rights of an unpaid seller is rights of stoppage in transitu. So, dito class is, what if yung goods is nasa, let's say for example, bumili ka ng 1,000 sacks of rice sa Maynila. And then, si seller, dineliver niya na yung 1,000 sacks of rice kay carrier or di kaya other bailee. So, habang nasa daan pa lang, so habang yung barko nasa gitna pa lang, sabihin natin, nasa Visayas pa lang yung barko, hindi nagbayad si buyer kay seller. So, si seller ngayon, meron na siyang right to stop the transportation of the goods. So, ito yung sinasabi class, rights of stoppage in transitu. So, ano ibig sabihin nito? So, kindly refer to Article 1530. Article 1530 states, this right involves the right of the unpaid seller to resume possession of the goods at any time while they are in transit, and he will then become entitled to the goods as he would have had if he had never parted with the possession. So, ibig sabihin daw nito class, as if walang transportation na nangyari. Ito yung rights of stoppage in transitu.